HBCU Special with a special guest host. You know, shout out to all the HBCUs, my man Vance. Show on what you got, Nick. But yeah, Van, you got to take it away, baby.
Oh, yeah, man. So we got two special topics, two hot topics for y'all. First of all, number one, Deion, first year at Jackson State. Team is currently 3-3 right now. And they started off 3-0, but they've lost their last three games. They had three losses against Alabama State, Southern, and Alabama A&M in their homecoming game, bro. You know, it was kind of tough. It got kind of ugly. They gave up 35 points, 34 points, and 52 points, bro. So no defense at all coming from Jackson State. So they have one more game. And guess who they are against, bro?
PV.
PV, your school. What you mean? Who? You ain't what you mean?
Didn't know. Oh my God.
April 24th, bro. It's gonna be popping in Jackson, bro. Come see our boy Josh hoop against them, bro. You cleared? You finally cleared to play? What's going on with you, Josh?
Yeah, that's why I had to put on the the Jesus Shuttleworth in the thing, baby, because I'm ready to hoop. You feel me?
Yeah. Bucket getter.
So garbage.
I ain't gonna lie. We can start recording right now because the way I'm gonna get on this is not gonna be able to get on the episode. Like, Nick, you trash, my nigga. You was a third string of high school. Like, why are you constantly talking? You know I'm trying to do.
Jesus. Yeah, bro. But in honor of the HBCU Special, bro, we smoking on that Prince Philip pack, and JSU they smoking on that Prince Philip pack right now. But I just got a question for y'all. What are y'all impressions from JSU so far?
I mean, first thing I think about when I'm looking at this JSU team, bro, that's a bad defense, bro. Over the last three games, bro, they're allowing 40.3 points per game and almost 500 yards per game, bro. They're a bottom-ranked team in the SWAC in terms of rushing yards, giving up 157 rushing yards a game. Their pass defense is modest and all of that, but they've given up 10 passing touchdowns on the year too, bro. And I just don't understand where the disconnect is, bro. You got all this NFL experience with Deion and on that coaching staff, both playing and coaching, but like the team just can't get the job done, bro. Like, I don't understand. Like, after the Alabama A&M game, in his post-game interview, Deion was talking about how they tried to simplify things, make it easy for players. He said that they have fewer than 10 defenses in their game plan. If you can't get kids to execute 10 defenses, bro, that's a bad sign, and it doesn't bode well for Jackson State in the future, bro, because they've been getting absolutely demolished by opposing offenses in the SWAC all year, bro. It's a lot of errors, poor defense. It's just a bad defensive unit overall, in my opinion.
Definitely. I mean, women like numbers don't, and the number you just said definitely don't, especially with when you lose a game and you score 40-something points, that's definitely a sign that something is wrong. I'll take a little bit of a step back. This is his first year as a head coach. COVID definitely, adjusted people's offseason, made things, exponentially more difficult than they usually are. And I think that's something that we're not. I mean, everybody is dealing with it, so I don't think we all take it in as a fact, on each individual case. But I mean, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and I mean, it took out. I know for us, it was the same thing for Jackson because we're all in the SWAC. Several weeks of preparation, conditioning, and things like that. So I would say that, honestly, just bump the brakes just a little bit. I know that not y'all two, but people in general are, a little bit of hysteria and very much concerned about Jackson potentially ended up with a losing record. But give Deion a chance. I know he's, arguably the best defense back there to play football, but he's still a first-year head coach at the end of the day, and I think we need to take that more into consideration.
Yeah, I agree with that because thinking about it, but Deion didn't get hired till October, around that time.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Yeah, so he gets hired literally last semester, and you got to put a full team together, install a playbook, get ready to play in February, bro. You're right about that. You got to cut him some slack because he's doing all he can. The team did
during a time when you wouldn't even be traditionally playing the game, you'll be spring ball.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, because you look at when he got hired, bro, that's when teams are really wrapping their seasons up. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready to go in the spring and all of that. But I will say he has done some good things from what I've seen so far. He's got an offense that's averaging 35 points per game. And I think that offense really took a step forward Saturday when they switched to starting Quincy Casey at quarterback, because looking at Jalen Jones, he was a guy who I didn't think really came in as a dominant passer. Of course, he's a rushing threat, second leading rusher on the team. But I think switching to Quincy Casey, it made that offense more dynamic, and it's what they were missing in that Southern loss. You know, you put up 43 points, bro. You expect to win, but of course that didn't happen on Saturday. So
going into that, my question is, for Jackson State, do you guys think it's a coaching or talent problem currently on this 3-game losing streak?
I mean, I feel like that's definitely a catch-22 question. Is there problems with, the coaching staff? I don't think their ability to coach is a problem. I think a lot of people underestimated how tough the SWAC was going to be. Maybe a little homerism bias. But I just definitely think that you can say both and you can say neither one. Because we saw all the guys that Jackson State recruited. So how can we really say it's a player problem? I think the bar was honestly set too high. You want to blame the coach? Deion can take blame. Some of the players can take blame. But I just think that in general, I think the bar was set too high.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the bar was set too high. And I'm not going to put the blame on the players, because at the end of the day, the players are in the system. And I'm not going to put the blame on the coaches because, like I said earlier, they haven't been at Jackson State for long. You know what I'm saying? They've been there, up to 4 months before they played their first game. That's not a lot of time for new coaches to have to come in, install a playbook, and get players ready to play. Instead, I kind of want to look at it as a culture problem, bro. This is a JSU program that hasn't won conference, the SWAC East, since 2013. And they haven't won the SWAC since 2007, bro. And the last time they won the SWAC, they had Comagee as their head coach. And since he left, JSU has gone 21-40, bro. So just looking at that, bro, I think Jackson State as a program just needs a culture change.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, bro. I've been to Jackson the past couple of years. I don't want to use the word that I say I've seen, but I've seen it all.
RAGGED.
Great band, though. Great band. Hearing while we practicing at Millsaps College.
Facts. But yeah, bro, I just think they need a whole culture change. And I think the coaching staff that Deion has, they do have some NFL experienced guys on that staff. And Deion being the winner that he was in his career and the success he had in high school football, even though it's high school football, I think he can bring in a new culture and set that program on the right way. And you look at it, he's bringing in the number 1 ranked FCS recruiting class in the fall. So I think players will get better, the program will get better, and the culture will get better, and we can see a vastly improved JSU team come the fall.
Ooh, this actually leads into my next question for you guys. 5 years from now, let's just say Deion Sanders is still at Jackson State. Do you still think he's going to be getting the recruits, the 4-stars, maybe the 5-star transfers, maybe even the 5-star out of high school? Do you think Deion can still get those recruits?
I think he can, bro, because you just look at Deion, who he is. You look at his social media, bro. You look at his resume. Who wouldn't want to play for Deion, bro? This is a guy who's in the NFL Hall of Fame, a guy who's been all over the NFL as an analyst, as a player, as, an insider, all of those kinds of things, bro. If you're a prospect coming out of high school, especially if JSU finds a way to be successful, bro, that's where you want to go, JSU, especially if you're black. So,
but do you think Deion Sanders' celebrity is too big for the city of Jackson? Not only Jackson State, just for the city of Jackson.
I definitely. I mean, him getting robbed 2 times in the first 6 months isn't the best. I mean, he's from Fort Myers, Florida. That's not exactly just a huge place itself. He's thrived in different environments where, he doesn't have to be in large cities. I mean, I think Deion is a genuine guy. Jackson is a genuine place. And I think that's all that really matters, honestly. I think they embraced him. Not to say that he's ever been difficult, but they did not have to embrace him as immediately and as much as they did. And it would have been understandable if they did not. But I think the fact that they did, and he's already been doing so much for the Jackson community. And, I mean, not only will it be a fit, I think it'll be one of the best things that's ever happened to Jackson, to Mississippi in general, really.
Yeah. And bouncing off of that, I think it's not only good for Jackson, but I think it's good for HBCUs overall, bro. You look at it, bro, now because it's Deion coaching JSU, they got games just about every week on ESPN, bro. They're getting national press attention, bro. I get on Snapchat, I look at, how it has recommended stories, bro. ESPN stories posted about JSU, bro. It's good for exposure for HBCUs. When I say exposure for HBCUs, it's not just Jackson State, bro. Because like Deion said, bro, since Jackson State's games are going to be broadcast on ESPN, whoever they're playing, their games are going to be broadcast on ESPN too. So just looking at that, bro, like it just brings more awareness to the conference, the SWAC, and just awareness to HBCUs overall. But looking at it from a team standpoint, bro, I don't know how helpful that is, bro. You bring Deion in as your coach. Now all of a sudden your games are on ESPN. All of a sudden you got camera crews going around because Deion's filming a reality TV show. And then you start out 3-0 and that raises everybody's expectations of you, bro. I think it's just hard to get in the mindset of a kid, like an 18 to 22-year-old kid, and just all of that changing so fast.
Fair point. I definitely think I would agree with you in terms of the shedding of light and painting greater exposure for HBCUs. The only thing about that, I just hope that it's not really a flash and a pan effect. I hope Deion is really taking his job seriously and more this is not a continued version of his NFL Network job. I mean, I hope that for not only HBCU sake, but especially for the kids that he's coaching and recruiting sake, that he's really, invested and put in and plans to be in Jackson for a while. So that's always been my biggest question. I mean, this is a guy, just objectively, take off the name, this is a guy that went from being considered for the Florida State job to taking the Jackson State job. Going from a Power 5 conference, a prestigious conference, to arguably one of regarded as one of the weakest conferences in FCS. So that'll be my biggest thing looking forward. And that's not really a question that can be answered in, even 5 years, honestly. So I will take another look at this in 5 years and see where he's at, what he's doing, and what has been done since then.
Now moving on to the next topic. We got Jackson State's border rivals. Tennessee State in Nashville has hired Tennessee Titans legend Eddie George. Eddie George, 1996 AP Offensive Rookie of the Year, one-time All-Pro, and a four-time Pro Bowler. Most definitely will be a Hall of Famer someday. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
I'm not sure.
He might be already. I don't think he is. I'm looking at his credentials right now. I'm sure they would have said he was. Yeah. But Eddie George, head coach of Tennessee State. What are you guys' initial thoughts about that?
It was shocking, honestly. I actually heard rumor of this story before. They didn't even believe it. So I failed journalistically. But shocking nonetheless. I mean, considering that Eddie George has never been a coach before, I know he played in Nashville all the years, but he's not actually from the Tennessee area. Those things really stood out to me as, this would not have been the first candidate for this position. But after, over the initial shock, I definitely think that it's a power play, a power move, clearly following the steps of Deion. And he even said so on first take. It's encouraging. I definitely did not expect it, as I stated. And I honestly, I just want to see how wide open the floodgates get for these legends coming back to HBCUs.
Yeah, I mean, I was just as psyched as you were, Josh. I had no idea that TSU was even looking for a new head coach, let alone they were in the middle of a season, so I definitely didn't see it coming. But just my initial reaction to this, bro, as soon as I saw the story broke, I saw kind of Eddie George already had his staff lined up, and that's what I was the most impressed with, bro. First of all, you have an NFL coach in Jeff Fisher, Mr. 7-9, as he's on your staff as an advisor, bro, because Eddie George has never been a head coach, bro. He's never coached football at any level. So that's what you need when you're coming into the – exactly.
Snoop Dogg.
We saw what Jeff Fisher did to Vince Young. Are we sure he like black people, bro? Are we positive that Jeff Fisher likes black people? We saw what he did to Vince Young.
I mean, look, bro, that's why he's just on the staff as an advisor, bro. I'm pretty sure Eddie George is going to take care of all of that and let Jeff Fisher stay in the background, bro. Jeff Fisher is just going to deal with football. He has nothing to do with the players. I guarantee you, bro. So, looking at that staff some more, bro, Eddie George hired Jeff Fisher's son as his defensive coordinator, a guy who has NFL experience. And he's looking to make big moves in terms of bringing in coaching. So he's looking at Hugh Jackson to come in as the OC, looking at Ray Rice. Ray Rice.
I don't think he get hired by no coaching staff no time soon, bro.
He can go for the WWE though.
He's looking at Ray Lewis to come in on the coaching staff, trying to get Ed Reed to already got DRC on the coaching staff. So this is a talented coaching staff, one that can entice a lot of kids to come play for him up at TSU. So I think that's a power play by Eddie George and by TSU, not only bringing in George, but bringing in the cast of others also.
So, as kids, I'm sure all three of us went to the Southern Heritage Classic between Tennessee State and Jackson State, bro. Who are y'all excited for that, bro? What are y'all thoughts about that?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, Memphis might get turned upside down, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. The city's gonna be turned, man.
That's a fact. It's just crazy. Like, I honestly can say that I've been going to the Classic since I was like 10, and I have literally never been to the game. Like, ever. Like, never been to the game since I've been going 10 plus years. So, actually, we'll have, something to look at inside the stadium. But I don't know. I think outside the stadium is more fun to me, honestly.
But I mean, I go to the Classic just about every year I'm in the city, bro. Every year I watch the game, bro. But I think this will definitely be the most exciting game in Southern Heritage history, bro. Because now you got two programs who are bound to be legit just because of the names they've attracted as coaches. I think this is gonna make for some really good football, some really good fun, and I think it's good for HBCUs because, as we kind of talked about earlier, ESPN has no choice but to put this game on primetime ESPN1.
Facts.
They have no choice, bro.
Facts, bro.
Not
Man.
two, not plus. You feel me? One.
ESPN. Regular ESPN. It need to be on 2. ESPN 3, ESPN Classic, ESPN Ocho.
Classic, bring it back.
Bro, this game gonna have everything that you want in the city of Memphis, bro. They gonna have the triple B's, big booties and braids, bro. I can't wait. I might go to every single one.
Last B I thought you were talking about, but I'm glad you know.
I'm not gonna lie, he's not lying with that, bro. But like I said, but the city gonna get turned upside down. It's gonna be some good football, and there's gonna be plenty of media there too, bro. So no Deion gonna come out with the big flashy chain. It's gonna be a sight, bro.
Hey, bro, the band gonna be popping. They gonna stay out to halftime. But this is my last question for y'all in this segment. Let's say you're a recruit, right? Would you rather go to TSU or JSU?
TSU because my best friend go there.
I ain't never seen two pretty best friends.
But I think
I'm gonna let you live.
Personally, I'm gonna take my talents to JSU, bro.
Hey, we can play out. Kick your ass, nigga.
All right.
Would have been in high school, but y'all too scared to play us. Did I let that slip out?
Shout
out to all my White Station Spartans, though. That was really my school. Honestly,
I'm just saying, bro. Y'all had
Hey, bro, this ain't your time to talk, bro. This ain't your time to talk.
20-year-old on a championship team, but I ain't gonna speak on it, bro. 20 playing high school football.
He was in high school just like everybody else.
He was 20.
He was in high school.
20.
That man was buying them beer after the game, bro. I ain't trying to hear it.
You need to relax, okay? You need to relax. He was enrolled in high school just like everybody else. He was a laws and attendee. You're just mad because you don't have any rings. You don't have any rings, or a state record. So stop hating, my boy. Big guest in the building. Somebody that I'm pretty cool with. Somebody that a friend of the pod. My best friend. My ace boom cool, Mr. Nyle Love. Everybody give me no cap hand clap. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good.
How did the season treat you since that was your last game you just played?
We had a 7-season game, and I got hurt probably like third game. I missed 2 games, so I was like the leading tackler in the conference. But after I got hurt, things went downhill a little bit. But I came back the last 2 games, and it ended all right. It was an okay season.
I got you. This is being your first season at TSU since coming from Memphis. Did you meet the expectation that you set for yourself?
Somewhat. I wanted to just be seen and get my name around, and I did that at the beginning of the season. So I guess I come to something.
Definitely feel you. A lot of people on this pod is not gonna know how far me and you go back. We went to school together. We became close friends. We just been thugging. So let me ask you something a little personally. After you left Memphis, why did you decide to go to TSU? And did you recognize, the impact of attending the HBCU?
Really, I didn't have much time to choose, and I had a lot of connections from TSU with previous coaches and coaches at Memphis. So it kind of just happened like that. And I didn't really think about the impact of going to HBCU, but I liked the decision that I made, like with the whole environment here. So it's a good change.
I got you. Being a guy, P5 bounce back, it's not unfortunate circumstances, but it happens to a lot of guys, with college football. So, going to a league, did you expect to dominate? Did you expect, I know, obviously you was an OVC leading tackler for, while you was healthy. So my biggest question is, what is your plans for next season, building upon this momentum?
Next season, I'm expecting to make like some teams like all conference or something like that, but coming down to OVC, like it's not much of a talent difference. And I did think I was gonna come dominate, but like it's still work to be put in to dominate. Like you're not just gonna come take over.
What was it like, transferring from Memphis and then having to get used to everything at TSU in the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah, I had to turn over pretty quick. So like I came in and it was just like I had to forget everything I just learned because like it's a whole different standard here. But as far as changing over, it wasn't bad, but like it was something different for me because it was my first time with transferring.
Yeah.
Definitely, you get to the meat and potatoes of this thing. You just got a new head coach, I believe. You told me a little before it happened. Eddie George.
Yeah.
When I say Eddie George, tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
His accolades really like he was a Heisman winner. His jersey's retired for the Titans, Hall of Famer, and he just like had a lot of accomplishments. But before this whole deal, like I didn't really know a lot about him, but like just when he was circulating, I've been hearing like that he's a good guy though.
Nah, most definitely. I mean, Eddie George is a legend. He's Heisman winner, number retired. But I do want to bring up something that you personally told me. And then I think the news is starting to get out. But I think Ray Lewis is in contention for the head coaching job. I know that Jeff Fisher and his son is on the staff currently. But with you actually playing linebacker, you being a linebacker, somebody that plays the same position as Ray Lewis, how much have that impacted you in your career and your success?
I feel like I've heard that both coaches have never actually. I mean, both players have never ever actually been coaches. But like, I feel like Ray Lewis would have came like just seeing his energy. I would have liked that from my position coach, and like I feel like we would have been more flashy as a team. But I feel like Eddie George is still a good pick though. But I would have liked to see the flashiness and like the energy because the energy he gives out just from being himself. So I would have enjoyed that.
I was about to say, it definitely you definitely can draw comparisons to what Deion doing at JSU. Obviously we had the Southern Heritage Classic. So how excited are you about that? Honestly, I know that in a long time the game is usually the attraction, but it should be a pretty good game this year.
Before I even came to college, like that was one of my favorite things to do, going to the Classic. So like now that I get to play in it, it was my second time playing in it. I'm really excited about that. Like I'm already seeing like news circulating on Twitter about how hype it's gonna be. It's gonna be packed out. So I'm ready to go out and get that exposure.
Okay, I definitely understand. I definitely would love to see it. But observing Deion's first season at JSU, somebody that ran a successful high school program, has been coaching, at a low level, but still been going through the motions, actually handling and managing a team for some years. How do you think that it would go for your head coach, considering he's never actually done this before?
I think he has one upside to not being the coaches. Our assistant coach is Jeff Fisher, which was the coach for the Titans. So I feel like with his experience and like Eddie George's playing experience, like I feel like it'll balance out to be great because it's Jeff Fisher and his son have that coaching experience from the Titans already.
No, I'm gonna definitely agree with that. That was one thing that Deion didn't bring in was a certified NFL coach, and I think that y'all will be straight, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that classic game some more, bro. We seen JSU play. You guys just wrapped up y'all season. Any bold predictions for that classic game?
Well, I'm gonna say this: like before I coached it, just previously left or retired, our record against the teams in the SWAC was 24-4. So last year that was our first time losing to them in the Classic in like 11 years. So I feel like we'll go back and take that over, and we just got to see what kind of freshmen we bring in as far as offense.
Yeah.
Prediction, but I'm gonna say we're gonna win for sure though.
I mean, you play offense in high school. There ain't nothing to switch back over to that side of the ball, huh?
Yeah, I like to play both sides.
Big Miles Jack, I feel you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you one, concluding question. You've been my friend for a long time, but I don't think I've ever asked you this question. Who is better, me or you, and why?
I mean, it'll be easier to answer this if we played the same position, but like, as far as why you ask me, is like, do you do it based off tackles or based off like production or hard work?
I mean, you gotta throw it all into your recipe. However you evaluate a football player, give me the grade, and whose grade is higher.
Okay. Just all around, like since we've been playing.
Just 9th grade.
I feel like I got more accolades, but like we do the same work, but I stand out more just because of the position I play. I'm gonna say like
Fair and honest assessment. You know, you still ugly as hell, but
that.
I like the way he did that. But no, I do really appreciate you doing this, taking your time out to do this. We're all excited for you. I think we're all excited for HBCUs in general, just because of the pattern that we see taking hope. And honestly, I can not to speak for you, but I can definitely say that I don't think you saw this coming when you went to Tennessee State.
No,
So I definitely think it'll be interesting to see what it looks like. I know a lot of people are going to compare it to Jackson, especially since y'all play each other every year. Well, except for last year, but Tennessee State, Robert Covington just gave like $1 million to the basketball team, building another indoor facility or something like that. So I think Tennessee State is really starting to dominate in terms of FC athletics, and I hope that it can turn into something like a North Dakota State or even something like a Liberty where they're forced to move up to FBS because of how they just can dominate the competition.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that something like that happened. Like our coach gave us like a few words before he left. He was saying like new facilities coming, better eating plans, better housing. So I feel like we got some changes coming. That'd be nice.
So what is the number one thing that you're excited for about the new change in the regime?
Probably facilities and stuff like that. Honestly, like better resources, I could say.
Nah, definitely. Because it will happen because we went down to Jackson last year to play them, and watching it on TV is a very big difference in how it looked. So something like that, something really similar should be happening to y'all. I do truly appreciate you doing this. Continue to have the success that you've been having, and I'll see you later.
For sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. So this week we're gonna bring y'all a special edition of Game Balls, highlighting some HBCU players who put up some dominant performances in their season. So I'm gonna start it out, bro. I got to give it to Akil Glass, senior quarterback from Alabama A&M, for his performance in the victory over Jackson State on Jackson State's homecoming, bro. In this game, bro, he went 27 for 40, completing about 68% of his passes for 440 yards, 6 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown on top of that, bro. That's how you go into Jackson, show out on ESPN, and beat Deion Sanders, bro. He gets a game ball, bro, because he definitely showed up and showed out that game.
Jeez.
I'll go second. This is so ironic because I never thought I'd be doing this, but actually I will be giving the game ball to my head coach, Coach Eric Dooley. This is his 3rd year now at PV. We actually came in at the same time because I was a part of his first recruiting class. He was a long-time assistant at Gremlin, played at Gremlin under Eddie Robinson. So the most important thing of business, he's 3-0 versus Gremlin while his time here at PV. Gremlin hasn't had the most success, but that State Fair Classic in Dallas is always a marquee game, regardless of FCS, FBS, whatever. It's always a marquee game, and for him to go 3-0 against his former school has always been the main goal. Then, in the inaugural HBCU Combine, PV actually had the most guys sent to the combine. We had 4. Former D lineman Isaiah Washington, he transferred from LSU. Receiver Tristan Wallace, defensive back Jalen Harris, and running back Dwayne Tucker. So I actually played with all those guys. Jalen actually still on the team, so I just saw him in practice today. But shout out to Coach Dooley because a lot of coaches don't take it upon themselves to ensure that their guys have success at the next level, and he's making a contract to do that even at the FCS level. So I got to give him the game ball.
I like those game balls, bro. But anyways, Alcorn State. I was gonna give him the game ball. There's rumors, keyword rumors, that they're trying to get one game in this spring after canceling their season against Jackson State, but it hasn't been approved yet. Nothing's come out of it. So as of right now, I can't give them the game ball. But who I will get a game ball to is UAB, bro. I know what you're saying, UAB. They're not a HBCU. But they're actually going to host the first ever HBCU Combine. It's going to be 50 eligible players that's eligible for the draft coming up, bro. They're hosting the first ever HBCU Combine. I think that's pretty big, and that's going to be live. But I'm going to switch it up on y'all. I'm going to give out 2 game balls. I'm also going to give one out to the University of Tulane, bro. So in February 2022, they're going to have an HBCU All-Star game. I think that's going to be pretty live, pretty nice to watch, bro. Black talent being showed off in a showcase like that, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Love to
Mark
see
my
it, bro.
calendar.
Putting HBCUs on the map, bro. That's the goal of this episode. Love what HBCUs are doing, bro, and it deserves to be celebrated, bro. It deserves to be celebrated. And so with that, bro, we appreciate y'all for checking us out this episode, bro. And we out of here.
Send a broke college student some money.
Hey, bro, we gonna start vlogging soon, bro. It might be separate vlogs, but we gonna get some vlogs in. More content for y'all.
Yes, sir.
OnlyFans, it's coming soon.